with Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer. So this has been building up for a while. It's been building up, and it's good to see slow builds build to good matches. Eddie came out on his own first of all. Jake came to the stage with Lance when they were doing their entrances, but Lance sent him to the back. Jake wanted to stay, but Lance, he wanted Eddie all for his own. Jake was not happy about this, but he left. It's Jake. He's not going to put up too much of a fight, because at the end of the day, if he does, he's got to fight with the Murder Hawk Monster. He's not going to do that. So this was a grudge match stemming from the Battle Royal at last year's All Out pay-per-view. The match started off with a bit of goading by Lance. He's like, "Come on, do what you want, hit me." But before it all broke down, Eddie was trying to chop Lance. Well, he was chopping Lance, but Lance basically no-sold it all before going about booting Eddie's head almost clean off, which was impressive. I liked that. Lance had the advantage for the first small part of the match, and as you would expect, he just looked totally brutal. As the whole match went on, Eddie avoided a charge by Archer, sending him into the turnbuckle, and Eddie capitalised on this by biting Lance and generally being a prick. But no matter what Eddie did to Lance, he just wouldn't get him down. The best Eddie could do at this point of the match anyway was to stagger Lance down to one knee, and that was after a top rope shoulder charge. One knee, Lance would not go down. This is a fact I love, because Eddie's not just there. Lance is not just a big guy, he's huge. He shouldn't be. It should be a challenge to take Lance Archer down. The match looked stiff as heck, very satisfying. I mean, even by halfway into the match, Lance looked beat up. He had a red chest, and as the match went on, he started developing a bit of a black eye. It shows you that they were laying it in. Lance got the better of Eddie before hitting him with one of the most brutal looking choke slams onto the apron from inside the ring that I have ever seen. He just picked, like, Lance is so big and he's so strong, he just picked Eddie up and fucking choke slammed him right obviously on the ring apron, and Eddie just rolled out to the outside. Poor guy, he looked dead. He just looked dead, poor guy. Lance, by this point, Lance was now obviously in full control. He was just throwing Kingston about. Lance then started going for pins, but he was doing that thing where he's stopping and breaking the pins himself so he can beat up on Eddie more. I'm not really keen. I mean, it's cool and I can deal with that one or two times in a heel match, but in this match, I don't think it was right for Lance to do it. But I understand why. He likes beating people up. That's his gimmick. So I can take it for a short amount of time. Eddie went for this was a spot that I thought was really cool. Eddie was like really beaten up by this point, and he went for a desperation like back fist. He does the spinning back fist. That's his finish. But Lance just blocked it with ease. As you would expect, Eddie was like just looked exhausted and he blocked it. I really liked that. But then after this, Eddie managed to take control again for a little bit, and it wasn't like a hope spot, or it wasn't just for a quick move and a 2.5 count. He actually seemed to get in control. Not only in control, but he managed to take Lance off his feet finally. Now, I don't think this was needed in the match, but they wanted to have a 10-minute long match, so I guess it's what they wanted to do. After a little bit more fighting, Lance again took control of the match, and he hit Eddie with a really, really nice, like it was like a Bossman slam, but he went into it with a ripcord, so twisted him up, ripcord, Bossman side slam sort of thing. Brilliant. It looks really cool. Again, though, Lance was not in any rush, and this was really obvious by this point. He wasn't trying to pin Kingston, and it was around this point I was like, right, why is he not trying to win this match, or something up here, or we're going to get some interference or something like that? And this is exactly what happened. Lance was almost at the finish, away to pin him, and the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny all came out, and they were dragging a beat up Jake Roberts onto the stage. Total dragging him. Not a very nice sight. Not a nice sight at all. Do I have a picture? No, I've just got a picture of Lance looking mean. And whilst Lance was distracted, the Bunny passed Eddie this... It was like a bit of elastic. Something he could put over his fist. Basically, it was a loaded bit of elastic. Then Eddie Lance turns around. Eddie managed to hit Lance with the loaded back fist to the future. And the winner of this match was Eddie Kingston. I mean, as soon as I seen the loaded thing, I was like, so wait, or did he borrow that from Shane Spears or something? Or just forgetting that Shane Spears' whole gimmick is that he has a loaded glove? So I did think about that, but again, I let it go to the side because we don't see much from Sean Spears anyway, so I don't think it's a big issue. It was a good match, although, I mean, like I said, there was a point in this match where I think I thought the match started to feel a bit deliberately elongated, to the point where the interference seemed posted. I think the finish should have came round where Lance blocked the back fist by Kingston. That, like, at that point of the match, that felt, it made the most sense for a normal finish where Eddie would have got beaten by the match. But of course, this wasn't a match where Eddie was going to get beaten. This was a match where people were going to interfere. But that said, I think that the match could have, like, it didn't need to go past the bit where they blocked the back fist. Eddie could have, the back fist could have been blocked. Lance could have went for the pin there, and they could have did the interference there. I think they could have did that. It could have kept everything a bit sharper. But at the end of the day, it was a really good match. It could have worked. Couldn't. No, I mean, it was. We could go over this all day, and it's just my opinion on the match. I think it was still a good match regardless. It's always good to see Lance Archer beating someone up. It's always good to see Eddie Kingston in a match. He's just bloody brilliant. So, really, we can nitpick, but I don't think it's worth nitpicking. I think it was a good match.